Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another video. So, as you can see here on the screen, I have a copy of Vision Resonator and a copy of Crimson Gaia. If you have not watched my last deck report, I did make a deck profile showcasing the Centur-ION deck with this engine in it. What I'm going to be doing here is talking about this engine more in a macro perspective, because I really think that moving forward, there are a couple of key strategies that can really benefit out of these two cards, and it could be very beneficial for the way the format is shaping up and the way you want to manage your resources. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. So for those who don't know, Vision Resonator is a monster that reads if a level 5 or higher dark monster is on the field, you can special summon this card. You can only special summon Vision Resonator once this way. If this card is sent to a graveyard, you can add a spell or trap that reads Red Dragon Archfiend from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Before we get to the explanation behind this card, let's talk about Crimson Gaia real quick. During your main phase, you can add one Red Dragon Archfiend or one card that mentions it from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except Crimson Gaia. When your Red Dragon Archfiend declares an attack, you can change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. If a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, it could be either players. You can special summon one Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. So essentially what you have here is a small engine that revolves around these two cards, and they can both add each other. But adding to that, Crimson Gaia can be used every single turn, and it can recur from both deck or graveyard. Meaning that in later turns, if you already exhausted this engine and you got pieces out of your deck, you can start grabbing the pieces back from your graveyard and just keep using them that way. The intended purpose for Crimson Gaia was basically to support Red Dragon Archfiend and just make it so you can simplify the game state by using Red Dragon Archfiend to nuke your opponent's board, or just climb with the Scar Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend, or other cards similar to that. As the other purpose for Crimson Gaia is for adding other cards that just work well with the theme, for example, Fiendish Golem. Just to give one example out of many. But yeah. So that's the whole purpose behind this engine. However, there is a lot more synergy to this engine with other decks than what we are leaning towards. And I kind of want to talk about them. So the first engine I guess I can talk about is Labrynth. Since we're already talking about Fiendish Golem, we might as well. In the Labrynth strategy, sending Vision Resonator with your furnitures gives you a lot of value, because the Vision Resonator can grab you Crimson Gaia, or it can grab you the Fiendish Golem. In the case of Labrynth, Fiendish Golem is kind of ideal in your strategy because it is a normal trap card that can move a monster away from the field, meaning that it triggers your furnitures. It can trigger your other Labrynth cards, for example your welcomes or big welcomes. They all benefit from being utilized with this card. So essentially what you have is a small compact engine that just synergizes well with all the Labrynth cards. And another thing that Crimson Gaia can do, if you play Crimson Gaia with the Vision Resonator, it can add you a Soul Resonator. And Soul Resonator, essentially what it can do, it can add you other Fiend type monsters that are level 4 or lower. So it can add you the Labrynth furnitures. It can add you Ariana. It can add you like a few other notable cards. And that already gives you like a very compact engine that you can just use with your Labrynth setup in order to perform more plays. Another really cool thing about it is that Vision's Resonator can special summon itself if you have high level dark monsters, which essentially comes down to both Lovely and Lady Labrynth. Since these are both level 8s, you can special summon Vision Resonator for free from your hand, and you can do a lot of different plays. One thing that you can do is summon the Unchained Lord of Yama, and Unchained Lord of Yama can essentially just bridge you into the Unchained strategy. If you've been watching this channel in the past year, you already know that I'm a huge fan of the Unchained hybrid of Labrynth, and I've been playing that in that strategy for a while last year. This is one engine that really synergizes well with that. Another thing you can do, since like Lady is level 8, you can summon like level 10 synchros, like for example Baron the Floor, Chaos Angel are just two prime examples. Sword Soul is a really interesting one because since Big Welcome Labrynth can banish itself from the graveyard, essentially what you can do is turn the Sword Soul Supreme into 2 interruptions, or even more interruptions than not, because of like Big Welcome and like its banishing interaction. But yeah, that is essentially like one thing that you can do when it comes to like the Labrynth setup. Now let's look at it from the perspective of like other archetypes, right? Like I essentially just showing you Labrynth at the same at the moment, because this is the engine, or this is the archetype that synergizes with this engine the most. As you already know, I am playing Centur-ION at the moment. This is my deck of choice for this format, and this engine can pair well with the Vision Resonator because of its interaction with stand-up Centur-ION. One issue that I've commonly had with the Centur-ION strategy is there are no real good discard fodders for stand-up Centur-ION that can just like work well with your strategy while also just keeping your deck consistent. And Vision Resonator fixes that, because not only is it giving you like fodder for your stand-up Centur-ION that can recur itself back with Crimson Gaia, but also it gives the deck another tuner, which is very, very important, because to this day Primera is the only tuner in the archetype. Well, it has 2 synchro monsters. In the future, post Legacy of Destruction, this engine is going to be even stronger because of its interactions with Gargoyle and with Wake Up Centur-ION. The reason that's important is because Wake Up Centur-ION can spawn a token, and the token can become level 4 or level 8, meaning that if you make it level 8, it's a high level dark monster for you to summon with Vision Resonator for free and just make your level 10 synchros. If you pair it up with Gargoyle, it's even stronger, because Gargoyle can grab itself back from the graveyard if it was used as a synchro material, while Vision Resonator can add you Crimson Gaia. So essentially your synchro summon that was done with these 2 cards was a free value synchro that just netted you a +1 out of its summon. I'll talk more about the new Centur-ION cards when we get closer to Legacy of Destruction, or maybe you'll see like a further line explanation in like the EJ Gaming channel. Let's talk about the synergy with Bystials. So if you use Bystial Rebellion,
essentially you have like a bunch of Bystial monsters that you can grab. They are all level 6 dark monsters, meaning that you can also special summon Visual Resonator with them. And to make matters even more important, 6 plus 2 equals 8, which means essentially what you have is the ability to summon your Red Dragon Archfiend or your Scar Red Dragon Archfiend. If you end up doing this and you just grab the Vision Resonator to just synchro away, like for example Scar Red Dragon Archfiend, you can just summon Bystial Dissipator, which is another Dark Dragon Synchro, and you can do more plays that way. In the future, post-Legacy of Destruction, this synergy with Bystials is going to be even more important, because what you can end up doing is with Dissipator, you bring back Vision Resonator, and with both of them, you can make the new Centur-ION Synchro, the Arcola. Again, more on that when we get closer to Legacy of Destruction. But yeah, the Bystials also have a good synergy with the Vision Resonator. It's essentially fodder that you just have for like your Bystials, while at the same time recursion for you to make like optimal synchro plays or even link plays with the Bystials themselves. So now that we talked about that, another really cool archetype that synergizes well with them is Yubel. So in the future, we're going to be receiving Nightmare Throne, which is a really powerful spell card that just enables access to like Yubel and other monsters similar to that. And the reason this archetype has a lot of synergy is because of its interaction with Nightmare Pain. And not only its interaction with Nightmare Pain, but also its interaction with the Dark Beckoning Beast, which can grab you the opening of the Spirit Gates. So essentially, this engine is also really strong in this deck, because with Dark Beckoning Beast and opening of the Spirit Gates, you just try to access your Yubel like strategy. However, if you use the discard effect for opening of the Spirit Gates, or you use the destruction effect of Nightmare Pain, which you can destroy dark monsters in your hand, you can essentially just pop the Vision Resonator or discard it, bring back whatever 0/0 Fiend, or just grab your whatever Yubel cards you need, and then the Vision Resonator grabs Crimson Gaia, which then just grabs back the Vision Resonator. Adding to that, the Vision Resonator can special summon itself for free if you control like any of the Yubel monsters, because they are dark level 10 monsters, which means they are more than level 5, meaning that you can just special summon them. You can just special summon Vision Resonator to pair alongside these. And essentially with these two, you can make either a level 12 synchro, for example, like Centurion Legatia, or you can make like the Yama again, because some Unchained strategies are mixed in with the Yubel cards. You can make like the Dark Charmer. You can make a Muckraker as well. So pretty much a really good amount of synergy is found like with all these cards. Another really cool thing is if you control like Yubel or any of its like predecessors, if you end up with Crimson Gaia in your graveyard, you can use opening of the Spirit Gates to just grab a continuous spell from your graveyard to your hand, and Crimson Gaia fills that requirement. So in the future, I just feel like we're going to have a lot of really good strategies in the game. I guess one strategy I haven't talked about was Horus. Essentially, this was how this engine became popular in the first place. Its synergy with Imseti is just like pretty cool, because essentially like it's not only is it a +1, but it's a recursive +1 that also synergizes with Horus, while at the same time enabling you access to like your really strong synchros. Later this year, we're going to receive Battles of Legends set that gives us support for the Genex theme, and this monster requires a Dark Tuner, and it's a level 10 synchro. So Vision Resonator is also synergistic with the ability to summon this card. And for those who don't know what this card is, this is a really, really strong monster. It's essentially a Omni Negate. Well, it's a monster negate that can negate up to 6 attributes. So more on this card later in the future. This is just like support for post Battles of Legends in June 23rd. But that's pretty much it for Vision Resonator. I kind of want to talk about this engine because moving forward, I am going to keep playing this engine in my Centur-ION deck. If I decide to play other strategies that just work well with this engine, like Labrynth, Yubel, just to give you one or two examples, or something with Horus cards, something with Teardament cards, I feel like this engine is going to be very, very strong. And like in a format like this one, where we are forced to play under a simplified game state with so many hand traps and so many equalizers, an recursive engine that can just grab you extension for each and every turn is something that really could benefit your strategy in the long run. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you found this video informative and to your liking and understanding. More videos coming soon. Keep practicing and keep dueling.